And we should be live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another AMA. I'm Jared from Prominence, and with us today we've got the team from, some members of the team from Mist NFT. Um, yeah, guys, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hi. I'll go first. My name is Flash. I am heading the strategy behind Mist. Really good to be here. Excited to talk to everyone, and thank you guys for hosting us too.
Hey Jared, pleasure being here. I'm Scythe. I'm the lead developer of Mist, and I'm happy to be here as well.
Nice to meet you. And I think Misty is still joining the call. But yes, guys, Misty is a dude. It's a guy. I made the same assumption as you guys. Easy one to fall for. Okay, let's go straight into it then. So what is the inspiration behind Miss? What does the name kind of mean? I mean, is it reference to something in the lore behind Mist? What is it all about?
Yeah, so we're really going to be focusing heavily on the lore of the game. Obviously, we want everything to be fun. We want to have an earning mechanism or many earning mechanisms. But when we were coming up with the name, we went through a few different iterations, and we figured out we want to be we want to put out a very solid message through the lore of the game, through the quests, and through the character progression, and it all is going to revolve around growth, journey, and exploration. And we figured the Mist is going to actually play a really big role in all that stuff. So yeah.
Very cool. I guess before that, we kind of forgot to talk about what kind of a game Mist is. What kind of game is Mist actually? Did you want to talk a bit about that? What genre is Mist? How does it play?
Yeah, definitely. So Myst is an MMORPG. So it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. And in Myst, essentially, you can create a character from 8 different character races. So you can be a human, you can be an elf, you can be a rhinokin, you can be any of these different races, and you can also choose from 9 different character classes. So you can be a berserker, you can be a crusader, you can be a ranger, and so on and so forth. So you can really make any kind of a character that you want, and you basically are thrown into this open world, and you can explore, make friends, complete quests, kill monsters, and of course, you can earn tokens, you can earn NFTs, and you can do all this kind of cool stuff. So that's basically the kind of game it is. It's open to you can do whatever you want, and you can have fun. You can try and make earn tokens and things like that. So that's essentially what it is. It's on the Binance Smart Chain blockchain, so it's on BSC, and at the moment it is playable. We just released the pre-alpha version of the game, so we got players in there a few days ago, and we kept it very small and limited to a small amount of players, because we obviously need to do certain tests and things like that. But over the coming weeks, we will be expanding the scope of the pre-alpha, adding more players, and turning on many different game systems and completing tests there. So that's a quick overview of what Myst is. We like to think of ourselves as the first of this genre on blockchain, and we're really proud of everything that we've been able to do, everything that the team has been able to build, and we're even more happy about the fact that our community has been sticking with us for so long. We've been around for over a year, and the game has progressed in many different ways. So I just wanted to give a big thank you to the team and to the community for being with us. So that's an overview of Myst.
Awesome. You mentioned a bit about that. What kind of game modes can we expect in Mist? Because it sounds like it's an open world um, MMORPG. What kind of game modes do we have in there? Do we have dungeons? Are there PvP? Is there arenas? What can we expect?
Yeah, Scythe knows more about that stuff, or you can explain better.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do we not have, right? Currently, we have many of these, many different instance systems in place, right? Basically, one of the exciting ones that we're working on is a procedural dungeon for a roguelike gameplay, where you
Mm,
go in and you basically by killing monsters and by progressing through the levels, you'll be climbing up. Um, you'll be diving deeper into the dungeon. You see, and
mm,
the deeper you dive in, the more powerful monster, the more challenging gameplay will be. And along the way, you will be collecting boosts and buffs, right? And these buffs will make you more powerful, but you can choose between 3 buffs per each power up you're collecting, right? And then let's say one of them is, since you're a ranger, your range attacks deal more damage, right? If you want to go that direction, or maybe you can go for more of a armor direction and can become a more tanky character, and you pick a separate buff, right? And these are procedural generated, so these will be these will be, let's say, in random, not really in random, but I don't really like using that word, but
mm.
they'll be procedural, right? So a different gameplay you can go through at every point that you start going into these procedural dungeons. Um, but we also have systems in work for allowing players to create their own dungeons and set up emissions for the monsters that they'll be killing inside these dungeons.
Mm. So it sounds
Um,
like it's sorry to break you up there, but it sounds like it's so this game is it open sandbox kind of like a exploration game, or is it? It sounds like it's quite heavily based around instance gameplay.
Not really,
Is
actually. These are some of the examples for the instance types. But in the open world, you can go around and find create parties and find any kind of monster you want to fight with and do quests through them too. However, in terms of player created systems, yes, they will be mostly instance based because of the limitations we have in the technology currently.
And one thing,
understood.
I'll just jump in real quick. So in general, yeah, Myst it's an open world RPG game, and so we have currently in the pre-alpha, there's only one main zone that is broken up into about 4 or 5 different subzones. But in the actual game that we will be into different phases of the pre-alpha that we're going to be releasing in the coming weeks and coming months, different zones are coming out. So our world currently is 240 square kilometers large of in-game playable world. So that 240 kilometers is broken up, 240 square kilometers is broken up into 8 different in-game zones. They all look different. Some of the zones are more evil looking and dark. Others are more bright and happy and everything in between. So there's a lot of exploration. Characters can just walk around everywhere, and we kind of pride ourselves in the fact that running from one end of the world to the other end of the world is probably going to take you a really long time, and you'll probably get you might not get bored because it'll look pretty, but you might get bored. Your hand might fall asleep just from walking. So it's open world, but of course, in any MMO that is worth its weight in gold, we need the dungeons, and we will have generic dungeons that are that are always the same, but we also have this player developed dungeon element. So players can purchase and also create their own dungeons. And also we have some procedural ones in the game too. So we're adding a few different features together.
Mm, cool. Sounds awesome. And I think we have Misty just joined in as well. Uh, Misty, are you there? Misty, are you there? Think maybe we have some technical issues with Missy. Don't worry, we'll go ahead. So just to touch a bit about NFTs, what kind of NFTs are in the game, and how do they affect, for example, the play to earn function? Because most of the games that we have covered so far, you kind of need to own certain types of NFTs to unlock that play to earn function, right? how does that play into Mist design?
Sure. Maybe I can touch a little bit on the player viewpoint, and then Scythe, you can talk a little bit more about the technical and the earning kind of stuff. So in general, all of our NFTs are actual playable in-game items. We anytime you're holding an NFT in your wallet, our game system will essentially pull that in, and that item or that character, which both of our NFT types right now are either items or characters. They basically load into the game. You have full control over them. You own everything about them, and we just facilitate the fact that you can actually see it and use it in game. So the current NFTs, like I said, we have character classes that are NFTs. So what this means is, if you don't want to buy a character class NFT, you can play a generic class of character called Adventurer, who has a lot of abilities, and they're kind of generic. They're effective, but not very specialized. Or if you have an NFT, you can play different, more specialized classes. For example, you can be a ranger, or you can be a berserker, or a witch hunter. And all of these different character classes have special abilities and a different vibe and a different feel. So if you want a more specialized type of gameplay, you can do this. We also have NFT weapons, armors, mounts, and pets. So all of the things that you would want to have in an MMO, these are NFT items that you own, and you can do this with Mist. We also will be implementing a scholarship system in the coming X amount of time that will allow you to basically, well, you'll have scholars under you. You'll be able to rent out your NFT, and whenever your scholars earn tokens while using that item, you're going to be getting a percentage of them. So, but Scythe, you probably know a little bit more technically how they work. These aren't regular NFTs. They actually do stuff. So how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, well, yes. First off, they are in-game items, right? We do have, depending on their levels, we have a few tiers of them. So we got 5 tiers for each NFT right now, and the higher the tier is, the more powerful. Like even the weapons, right? We have weapon NFTs that are more powerful between each tier that you have. Also, yes, about the scholarship system. We will be. It is essentially like a guild, where every um, scholar, every character you have, that is using the NFT you have, right? They will be providing a percentage of their earning back into the owner. We do have. It is quite complicated to go through every single detail about this.
Mm-hmm.
But what it essentially is that it is a partially an element of staking, and then partially an element of a grouped contract interaction, right? So in the game, Mist token is used for the main currency. You go around and kill monsters, you'll be collecting Mist. When you have to repair an item, you'll be using Mist. When you need to take a portal, you'll be using Mist, right? And we will be forming these kinds of gameplay elements, these kinds of groups that can facilitate these transactions and to be partially taken from many different owners. And yes, that is essentially the plan for this. Another thing is like the bank, right? We have a in the works. We have a Mist bank, and this Mist bank essentially is for it's for creating a pool for users to keep their tokens safe when they die in the world, right? So we do have a burning mechanism that's based on player death, right? And some part of it will be kept safe if you place it in the bank, and through this you'll be making through this is essentially like a staking contract. Through
Yep.
this, you'll be making a return as well as rewards.
I
So
see.
we have many layers of implementation to go through here, really. But in the very end, what we're hoping to do is to provide the MIST token every single case that we can in terms of usage, and implement it in many places like this, even including joining dungeons, even including joining PvP battlegrounds, right? But yes, so that's essentially it, if I was able to explain it correctly.
Yep. Okay, so at this point, let's do a raffle giveaway at this point. So yes, guys, we have giveaways. We've got 10 to give away. 3 will be giving away during this stream, 1 now, and then we have 2 at the end. So do stay on for the end of the stream for the last 2 giveaways. And then the seventh giveaways that we have left, you have to join our Discord. More about that later. So who's our lucky winner today? Number 1. McElvin Renado. Hopefully, I didn't butcher your name. It's a little bit small for me to see. But congratulations, you have won the first giveaway for Miss Pre-Alpha. Uh, uh, access, which is a very small number of people. So congratulations. I also should mention at this point, guys, the play to earn part of it is not active yet. Am I correct in saying that during this alpha launch?
So yeah, halfway correct. We have a play to earn mechanism that actually works. Essentially, this is maybe a good point in time to actually talk about it. But for now, the pre-alpha, you can earn tokens, you can earn in-game NFTs when you when you do things. You can earn OR tokens and all of these different blockchain tokens. Yes, you can earn them. However, everything currently is on testnet. So anytime you're earning, let's say you go mine an OR, you obtain actually this OR is a token. It's a blockchain token. All of our resources in game are actual blockchain tokens. So anytime you do anything, you chop a tree, you collect a fish, you get an ore, any of this kind of stuff, it is all connected to a blockchain token. Currently, every player can go up to a rock or a crystal in game. They can mine them, and they will check their wallet in the next few seconds, and they will see that they've actually obtained these resources. So the only difference is this is not on mainnet, so you're not technically earning anything that's very useful. However, we are just testing the systems and making sure that when we do switch to the mainnet, everything will be working pretty smoothly. So
Understood.
yeah.
So actually, at this point as well, we've got a video for you guys. It shows a bit about Miss gameplay, what it's like at the moment. Let's pull that up. So I believe we've got a ranger here, correct? And he's fighting an elf.
Yeah, this is a female Leonin. A Leonin is a character race in the game, and yeah, she is fighting an elf that does not have any clothes on. For some reason, he's chasing her. But yeah, this kind of shows the gameplay. It's very action oriented. This isn't a point and click card game or like a little Monster Hunter kind of a thing. This is a very engaging kind of a combat system, and we took a lot of time to make it feel smooth and be fun. You see her casting some spells, shooting some arrows, and then the elf is trying to attack her with a sword, a flaming sword, but I think he's having some trouble getting to her. So yeah, this is basically what the game looks like, what the combat looks like in game. It's I'll just say it again, we took a lot of time to make it seem high quality as much as we could, especially for the blockchain. So yeah, I remember filming this video with Scythe, actually. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, this looks amazing. Go ahead.
I'm out of
Currently
mana.
in the pre-alpha, we
My
do
mana
not
is too
have the
low.
PvP
I need
option
more mana.
activated. So when
My
people are
mana is
playing,
too
they don't
low.
see it, but there's a reason for it. We're testing some other systems and the server loads and everything. We're getting a lot of data at the moment. So when the PvP comes, inevitably it's going to be way more interactive with the players. Some players have commented on how big the world is right now, which is actually a good thing, because if it's too big, you can always limit the zones. But actually, it doesn't represent much of it, because we're going to be adding more monsters, more PvP areas and stuff like that, which we're going to use all of the map. So one of the things that we focused on this pre-alpha was the basically like the progression from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever, just to be able to get the best data for ourselves, so that we can provide the best game when the beta is out.
Awesome.
Yeah. Another thing to that I want to add here is that the world we have currently is about, I believe, 6 or 7% of the overall map that we're creating. That is only the land surface, not including anything instance, right? So we're expecting it to be a massive environment for people to go through. And yes, about some features in the pre-alpha, currently we do have earning mechanisms in place. Again, this is also on testnet, of course. And in terms of PvPs, we are going to be releasing a new update that includes a few more systems that we want to go through to test. Currently, we were testing our server loads with how basic user information can be handled, right? People log in, their accounts, their characters all have different items and everything, right? And all of this synchronized around the world in a fairly well fashion. We have very little amount of errors that we're getting. And we'll be implementing fixes to those, and then we'll be adding in the other systems that we created. One of which is zone system, right? Because PvP in Mist is dependent on the zones. Some zones are PvP enabled, some zones are PvE only, and some are passive, right? Just
Right.
so you can sort of sit down and take the scenery, right?
And let me summarize real quick. So what we were trying to accomplish with all of these zones, we're trying to accomplish a vast world with many different types of gameplay. So, for example, from a casual player who would like to maybe do some farming or mining or fishing, to somebody who's really competitive and who wants to risk more and going into PvP and do this kind of stuff. It's different type of gaming, and that's what we believe the MMOs should be. And we are also letting players collaborate. So we have the party system right now actively, and you guys are going to notice in the future that there's going to be some monsters that are going to be difficult enough just for a party, but a player won't be able to kill it by themselves. So we're going to allow players to form their communities, their groups, the friends that they get along with, so they can have the best experience, because without a doubt, people are going to need to have friends in Mist.
Yep. Massive world, it sounds like it's going to be. Lots of dangers. Quick question. So PvP, I understand the demo, it looks like it's an open world kind of PvP setting, and when you talk about the different zones, PvP enabled, PvE only, is it only going to be kind of open world PvP? Would there be instance groups, for example, arenas? And also, it sounds like when you talk about risk in PvP, am I to understand that you could actually lose some NFTs? For example, like, maybe you
Right.
drop some loot on the floor?
Right. That's why. That's one of how people say, "Oh, how are you gonna limit bots and everything like that?" Well, this kind of stuff, and only a player can play well and succeed, and that's what play to earn, or play and earn is, in our opinion, because we really don't want to make this game not fun. We want to make it fun, competitive, and obviously there's going to be opportunities to earn. So instances and battlegrounds, we're definitely going to have them. Actually, when Scythe was talking about the zone system, when you go on the pre-alpha map, in the middle of the map, there's an area with crystals and rivers. So that area, once you enter, that's the PvP battleground. So that area from both sides you can enter, and you can only exit through two paths, and that
Right.
area is gonna have like the resources, but you are at a risk of getting ganked while you're collecting resources. So that's the PvP area. There's a lumber camp, if you notice. There's a mining camp, and those camps can be occupied by each team. And once you're trying to occupy, you're also trying to defend, and all kinds of fun things are happening at the same time.
This sounds awesome. Are there factions? Can I join a certain faction? How does that work? Or is it only party based? So like what, my party versus all the other parties out there?
Yeah. Basically, game is made up of factions, and each faction can only group within themselves. Obviously, there's an opportunity in the future to look at things, how they work, for different bosses and such. But at the moment, only the factions can, because they have a history. We'll be unraveling. We'll be showing more lore in the future. So you guys are gonna notice why these factions are hanging out with each other, as opposed to like, being friends with everyone. So that's another part too, with the lore and history of the game. Right now, we're just focusing on systems, but definitely Myst has like a deep lore that allows players to have their own like adventure within the game. When you place your character, we want you to feel like you're part of the world, and that's the most important thing, because if the games want to be around for a long time, they need to make players feel like they're part of the world, and not just like a number, right? But what we want players to have their names out there on the server, and be known. If you're good at it, we want you to be famous within the game, and amongst your friends and everything like that. This is really important, and this is the thing that we have missed from a lot of games over the years. It just became too much of a, enter, log in and log out, but nobody knows who they are. And we have seen over the last like 10 to 15 years that with MMOs, people make a lot of good friends, and they hang out even in real life and stuff like that. And that's, hopefully we'll achieve that. And this is even better because we have some systems coming. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at the Medium articles, but in one of them we were mentioning the basically the system where basically you're defending your resources against somebody, and you have a party of like mercenaries, and this is your friends basically, and you get a share of the cut. When
Hey,
you
Misty,
defend.
let me actually bring that up because I agree. Thanks for bringing it up, because we totally forgot it. So what Misty's referring to is, it's another NFT system that we have. We just haven't put it in the pre-alpha yet. We have many other things to test before, but this is essentially the NFT lands system. So, for example, let's say I want to buy a lumber camp. I can do that using the Myst token, and then as soon as I buy it, I own this lumber camp. And anytime someone cuts a tree on my lumber camp, I'm getting a percentage of that resource along with some Myst token. So basically, these NFT lands, they can be a lumber camp, a mine. Let's say I buy an iron mine in game. Anytime a player on the is walking around the world and comes up to a mine or a rock that is on my land, I'm getting a percentage of this. Anytime someone cuts a tree that is on my land, I'm getting a percentage. So what Misty is referring to is, because we're going to have ownership of these lands, we're also going to allow people to come up with they're going to have the ability to take over the land and kind of steal resources from you and this kind of stuff. So all of these dynamics are going to lead you to need to defend your land against the aggressors. Or if you're an aggressor, let's say you and 3 or 4 of your friends come together, you're very powerful, and you try and take over someone's lumber camp. You are able to do that unless the guy defends it. So this sounds kind of complicated, but in general, think of it like the real world. If I'm one country and you're another country, then I want your resources. I'm going to fight you for it. You can defend yourself, but I'm going to fight you for it. So this is the dynamic that we want to be in this big world, because a true metaverse needs this kind of stuff. It is, so far it is too simple and too one-sided. We need these interesting dynamics to make people really feel like they're a part of something. So Misty, I hope that I brought that up right.
Exactly. I mean,
Maybe
this is the next logical progression of blockchain games. But basically, the fact that you have an item or a resource that is on the blockchain, and you cannot tamper with it, allows us many cool things. Basically, like this kind of battling for the resources and stuff like that, with staking contracts and everything like that. It is very, very interesting. Yes, it is technically complicated, but it is possible, and that's the beauty of it. Because the thing is, you have a real blockchain item that is in the game as well, and it just, you have the ownership of it, and it just translates into real world. Like that's the beauty of it. Like if when metaverse like gets bigger and bigger, connects, there's interconnectability between different metaverses, you can get this item and go somewhere else and still have this item, right? Doesn't even matter. So we're trying to make it more decentralized, and with the guild system too, we are making it completely decentralized, so that the guilds that own their items and resources, it's purely theirs, and we cannot do anything because it's on the blockchain. So they own it, we can't do anything. They can choose to do whatever they want. They can distribute it amongst themselves, and we have no say in it. And that's how it should be, I think. The company shouldn't be able to go in and say, okay, I take your items or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing is, even right now, we made it so normally if a current auto blockchain game where you have an account using your email address or something, right? They can go in, of course, they know your password, right? The good thing about this is that currently there's no way for us as the developers to be able to log into anyone's account, because it is strictly based on their wallet as they log in. Even if they lose their wallet, there's no way for us to recover their account either. So these kinds of things. The thing is, blockchain gaming is lacking a lot of infrastructural work, and which is what we're seeing with the quality of the games that are coming up, is that it's all kind of the same, right? Because, well, guess what? There's no people are trying to build roads, build houses in a city with no roads, right? So it's kind of half. We're hoping to make it whole. We're hoping to be able to create these things, take our time in terms of developing the underlying systems to be able to push it, which is why we've been holding off on releasing even such a very simple part of the game for such a long time, because we wanted to make sure we're able to provide the best technology we have. One other thing that I find interesting is that we are creating an environment for allowing these interactions to happen, right? We're creating an environment for players to walk around and buy and sell, and allowed to kill each other and all that, right? One cool thing about this is that later on we're hoping to be able to include systems around professions. One very interesting one I found is the traders, right? A trader can walk between cities and sell goods in between them and make money off of the arbitrage, right? And this is very interesting because we're able to do this just because we don't have to calculate any of these values for arbitrages in the runtime ourselves. These are tokens, and between every pool that's created for a token, there will be an arbitrage. Which is what people are using for arbitrage sales right now, right? You go into Gate.io and there's a different price technically for how much you can be getting this token for versus PancakeSwap, right? These are different liquidity pools, and we're hoping to be able to implement these very soon into the game as well, where
Yeah, for example,
you
if you're in Luna City, you're buying the bread for like half mist or something like that. You might head over to the Broken Coast, and you can sell your bread for 0.6. You know,
Mm,
depending on how it's acting at the moment. So that's basically the gist of it. That and the thing is, when we have announced that we're going to have some of the items or materials in the blockchain, people are saying, "Oh, what's the point of having that, right? What's the point of making it NFT?" Well, there is some use cases, and we do believe in use cases of NFTs, as opposed to some people, like why don't you keep everything centralized and everything like that? Well, if we were to do that, we would have not been in blockchain gaming.
mm.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a lot to take in, but it sounds like this game is very much a very long-term game. I mean, if it really gives me WoW vibes. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, it really reminds me of that, and that's a game that's really been in development for, I mean, continuously, right? For well over a decade, coming on to 2 decades now. And I think the Mist team here today is very ambitious and has a long-term plan for how Mist is going to be, one of the best blockchain games. It sounds really exciting. At this point, guys, I'm going to do another raffle giveaway. We're going to do 2 here. So let's see who wins this time.
All right.
So we have Soul. Did I say the name right? Soul? It's really small for me to see. SWI. Swirl. Swirl. Cool. Swirl, congratulations. You are the second winner for the giveaway. And let's go on to the third one. By the way, guys, as we've mentioned here earlier, this is on the Binance Smart Chain, so we've got to have a wallet compatible with the chain. Okay, more details after that. Okay, this name is really difficult, but I'm sure you see yourself on the screen. I'm not going to say it. Carl, I think it is. Congratulations, you are the third winner for the giveaway. Congratulations, guys. Make sure you've got a compatible wallet. Okay. Cool. Very good. Okay, at this point, so we were talking about how Mist is really a long-term project. Can you give us some insight as to why? So, how long really has the game been in development? Because I understand I've been tracking actually the progress of Mist since last year, and I've seen it gone from. Well, if anyone here actually knows, it's gone from a top-down kind of clicking a game, something similar to Lost Ark actually, or Diablo, if you will, and now it's really like a proper MMORPG, much similar to, okay, not really proper MMORPG, I didn't mean that, but it's an MMORPG similar to WoW. It sounds like development has been quite going on for some time already. How long has the game been in development?
You're gonna make me feel old, but we've been developing for a long time. So technically, Mist launched about a year ago, maybe actually over 1 year ago, and development actually began many months before that even. So you also bring up a good point, because if anyone has been with, well, actually a lot of people have been with us since our very beginning. We have a lot of community members that we saw a year ago and they're still with us, and it always makes us very happy. That's probably the best thing. But the point here is that those guys and those girls will remember what Mist used to look like over a year ago, and it was like a blocky, top-down, click-to-move. It looked and played a lot more boring than it did now, or than it does now, in my opinion. And also, if you guys ever take a look at some of the screenshots and the videos from a year ago, you'll notice that the graphics themselves and the environments are blocky, and they look very basic. Now, what we did as a team was we had a lot of moments internally during our team meetings and just when we're hanging out, working and talking, where we had this point about, I don't know, 8 months ago or something like that, where we had already been working for about a year on this game. And slowly we started having these discussions about, what do we really want to bring to blockchain? Do we want to just make a game and kind of not put too much effort into it and just see what we can do? Or did we actually want to put our heart and soul into this project and try and make something that frankly no one's really matched in the blockchain space? I'm sure people will surpass us. I'm positive, but at the time, it just didn't exist. So it was a really hard decision. And about 8 months ago, or maybe a little bit more, we just decided to throw away all of the work that we had done for a year or two before that, and just start new. So
Wow.
it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't easy to explain to the community, because at the time everyone was expecting a certain timeline. And we come in and say, forget this timeline, we're throwing everything away and we're starting new. But that's what we did. It was a decision we made because we wanted to build something great. And what we did at that point was we expanded the team a lot. There is a studio behind Mist. There is a very nice group of people that are working and building and doing research and everything for this project. And we basically did everything custom. All of the who does 8 character races? Oh, 16, because you have a male and a female. People don't really understand that it takes 2 weeks to make a single character. So that's 16 characters. That's 32 weeks of manpower just to make our characters. But it was okay, because this is what we wanted to do. And along with that, all of our environments now are custom, and they will be even more customized, and our gameplay systems and everything. So I can continue with this, but I think you guys get the point that
Yep.
We threw away all of our work because we wanted to do something that we would be happy to put out. And I think at this point we've reached that. The pre-alpha is live. People can experience it and see it, and we're really grateful for the responses we're getting back. There's a lot of good feedback, constructive criticism, that now we know things that we can improve and work on. But it also is cool to see good feedback, people saying that they enjoy the game and things like that. So okay, that was a lot of stuff, but yes, long story short, we've been working for a couple of years, and we threw away 1 or 2 years worth of work because we wanted to make something much better, and that's what we did.
Very commendable. Very
Yeah,
commendable.
because when you change from top down and everything, you have to redo the controller, recode the game base and everything like that. So it's not like simple change the camera. No, when you change the camera, everything changes, and you have to restart. And when we restarted as Mist. We kept going as Mist and everything like that. And I think community appreciates that as well. We have been around. Well, we're literally the first MMORPG on Binance Smart Chain, and that was last year. So and back then the play to earn wasn't a big thing either. So we're really happy to be here, and we're really happy to continue. We enjoy doing this, and we want to keep doing.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and Scythe and the guys that he sees really closely, they did an awesome job. They busted their butt for a really, really long time. I remember I'm talking to Scythe at 3 a.m, 4 a.m every day, because he's figuring out new ways to do stuff, and it's quite incredible what he and his part of the team did, and all the other guys that are listening to. You guys know who you are. It was a lot of work, and it will be a lot more work, but it's incredible. So everyone on the team, you guys, you did an incredible job, and no one believes like how small or big the team is. But I must say this because it's remarkable, and I'm really proud of everything they've done, and really looking forward to what we're going to do in the future. Scythe he's some master at what he does, and the whole rest of the team is really good too. I'm just some guy, but I'm happy to work with people like this.
Sounds awesome. This is really, really commendable. We've got some questions from the community. Maybe we can bring some of that up and let's see if we can answer them. First one from Elvin Yup. Kelvin, can you bring the just talking to our producer here? Can you bring the question up here actually, or Okay, I have it here. 1 second. Okay, so McKelvin, yeah, with all the gameplay and class changes, just wondering what would happen to the first edition Mist assets. Would it be affected in any way?
Misty, you probably know that one better. The master of business.
Yeah, so basically we have announced some details about it on our Medium, but the first generations do hold this special place in Miss Universe because they were the people who supported us very early on, and we would like to honor that as well. They're getting extra bonuses and stuff like that compared to the other NFTs, which is really important. And we are giving them a title. Some of the higher level ones are being called Highborn, and we're gonna announce more stuff about that. It's they're definitely getting some titles in the game, etc. But I'd like to say that they're also for the value they're getting out of the bonuses they're getting. The first editions are always in a higher place than the other ones, and that's the summary of it. If you would like to have more details, you can I can refer to the Medium article. But basically, they're like one level higher, which is like twice, so double the other
Understood.
NFTs. So
Understood.
that's quite higher. And
Mm.
in terms of the value, again, we would like to always support people who supported us, so we'll be announcing more stuff about that.
That's great. That's great. Cool. I have another question here from Federico. This has to do with the website. When will the new website be ready? It is really necessary for new investors.
Yeah, good question. So technically the website is ready. We will be putting it up here very soon. There was a few changes we did to it just in the past few days as well, because we did get some feedback from the pre-alpha. So we were waiting on a few kinds of things like that. So it will be live very soon. Don't worry. The game is live. The website will be coming too.
Sounds great. Awesome. So that's kind of it, guys. We've got all our questions done. 3 giveaways. Don't forget, guys, there's 7 giveaways still. And we will post the details after this stream on the chat itself. But you guys have to come and join our Discord. And we've got a few fun and games over there where you stand a chance to win one of these passes. So make sure to look out for that. Cool. At this point, do we have anything else you want to add with regards to Miss? Anything exciting to look forward to in the really short term? Anything like that at all?
Yeah, really short term. There are a few more systems that will be coming live in patch 0.02. So in the first update, in the first patch, some of those things will be either in the first or the second patch. I don't want to speak too much, but either in the first or second patch coming, PvP system will be turned on. Right now we've turned it off, but it will be turned on. And another really big one is the music. We have tons of custom music and soundtracks that we're really excited to actually turn on in the game. Right now, players are playing, they're not hearing too much music. There's a reason for this, but we really think that when we turn the music on, it will totally change the feel of the game. It'll be more immersive. So those are 2 things that it's just a matter of when are we going to turn them on. We need to finish some testing, but that will be coming. And then I also wanted to just say one other thing again. A big shout out to the whole team, all the guys that are listening, but also Misty and Scythe. These guys busted their butt. Misty is just crushing it with keeping everyone organized, on track, and making sure everything is done and done very well. And Scythe is just a genius, and he does a lot of good stuff too. So just thank you to everyone on the team again. I think it's a good time to say it, but thanks.
Yeah, I would like to say the same, man. We have said May 9th. There was a few hours of delays, but it happens all the time. It happens with big launches, and yeah, we were really happy that we brought our project, at least some portion of it, to our community, and everyone who was involved really worked hard, and you know, we received a lot of love from our community, and that kind of kept us going. We never wanted to disappoint them.
Awesome. Cool.
And also, thank you guys for having us on today. We're
Yes.
looking forward to working together on many other things. This was, I guess, just more of an introductory thing, sharing our communities. So, yeah, thank you guys as well. We really appreciate it, and it's very professionally done. I'm blown away by how cool this AMA was. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We like I said before, we've been following Miss for about a year now, and we've seen the developments over this period of time, and we're very excited. I mean, I am a big MMO RPG player. I played WoW for many years. And too embarrassed to say how many. But yeah, I've always wished that I could actually own some of the assets and have the rights, you know. But yeah, so I'm very excited to play Miss, and I know that the people watching are also very excited. And I'm sure if we have more updates, we'll be sure to maybe do a follow-up AMA and update the communities. So thank you guys for your time today. That's it from me. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Jared. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye bye.